Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, a non-profit public spiritual trust, is founded and managed by successful corporate leaders. Inspired by the Grand Meditation Master Brahmarshi Patriji and mentored by Padma Shri D.R. Karthikeyan, Dr. S.V. Balasubramaniam and Padma Shri Dr. R.V. Ramani.
We are all here to celebrate the grand functioning of Buddha CEO Foundation. 1 year of great efforts, preceded by a few years of planning for it, and establishing of a full-fledged office here in Bengaluru. It is total manifestation. Whatever you think, it will happen.
The foundation is operating globally with volunteers and participants across several countries. The vision of the foundation is to build leaders who are meditative, compassionate and purpose-driven for a harmonious and fulfilling life. With a mission to empower organizational leaders, entrepreneurs, and students with scientific meditation wisdom, the foundation has been carrying out 3 types of activities: teaching meditation, publishing meditation wisdom, and building global communities.
Chandra and Vani, they built up a beautiful team, Buddha CEO Foundation. In less than 3 years, they built up very committed young masters. This 40-day meditation course, thousands have attended and benefited around the world.
Thanks to Mr. Chandraji, the master behind the whole meditation courses.
As of August 2023, 390 plus programs with 4,380 plus hours of content and positively enhanced the lives of 84,200 plus people
with the breath mindfulness meditation practice. The flagship 40-day program is a free online program for leaders and employees. Spiritual scientific wisdom about meditation, physical and emotional health, relationships and manifestations are taught in this program. Other programs include 21-day for youth, multi-day manifestation, intensive meditations, Saturday masterclasses, full moon night meditations and Sunday long meditations. Spiritual scientific wisdom means we are energy and are all interconnected. We create our own reality. The world has abundance for all. The foundation runs 2 YouTube channels containing hundreds of testimonials, wisdom and guided meditations. It publishes a corporate meditation magazine called Buddha CEO and distributed thousands of copies to its members and several CXOs. The foundation published 2 books on meditation, namely Patriji Answers and The Miracles of Meditation, to inspire many more.
Finally, I have this in my hand, manifestation, a dream manifestation, in black and white, the concept of a Buddha CEO.
It's a great job, Chandra. Buddha CEO is not just teaching meditation and also giving a lot of information about meditation and how to lead the life.
The foundation also created meditation courses on the online Udemy platform to support self-paced learning.
Thank you, Chandra. Chandra has been connecting the glue. He brought me connected to Patriji, connected to the PSSM. You know, you and your family have been awesome in kind of changing millions of lives.
I have been meditating with Buddha CEO fellow meditators for 3 years. Thank you so much, Buddha CEO team, for being with me in my spiritual journey.
And Buddha CEO is that platform that enables all leaders to trickle down the empathy to the last mile. So thank you very much.
It has been a pleasure to join this Buddha CEO meditation. I have been with this program since 2020 May, and since then, I think a day has not passed when I have not done the meditation in the morning.
Buddha CEOs worldwide across 20 cities in the Middle East, UK, USA and India organized several in-person workshops by Masters Chandra and Vani, strengthening the foundation's global presence.
I am totally grateful to Buddha CEO, to all the masters for teaching me this amazing technique and putting me into.
The foundation relies on the active support of the participants, volunteers and trustees and expresses deep gratitude to them. The foundation has done great work in its first 2 years of operations, causing significant healing, life transformations, self-empowerment and growth in thousands of individuals and a few organizations.
For this Buddha CEO Quantum Foundation, we should have a tagline, Yogaha Karmasu Kaushalam. Yoga is meditation, Karma is action, Kaushalam is efficiency.
It is very grateful to Brahmarshi Patriji and Swarnamala Patriji and its mentors. The team at Buddha CEO thanks all participants for their active support and invites everyone to join this noble mission.
Good morning, good afternoon, and wonderful evening, dear masters and friends. Welcome to the Middle Path Journey to widen our horizons. With all this knowledge and daily practice of meditation, we welcome you all. We have a wonderful guest speaker post-meditation. So welcome again. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Happy morning, dear friends and masters. Wonderful afternoon, evening. When Patriji used to come to our homes regularly, and I was always very inspired with his work, the commitment, the consistency, and his constant pursuit to know more, but more than that, a constant pursuit to touch somebody or the other every day. His calendar would start, his day would start very early in the morning, 6:30 is up. When the programs are there, it would up anyway before special larger functions, larger meditation functions or conferences, but otherwise, his day would start 6:30, and then it'll go on into the late nights, past 12 for sure, always. I was constantly with people. I was constantly traveling on the road, sometimes back to back, 5, 6, 7 sessions in a day. Then when I asked him on occasions, his consistent reply is, I found my passion. And then I recognized that the purpose of my life is, it didn't matter who it is, but then I always want to give this simple meditation to see that they change, they transform, they become empowered. Nothing else matters to me. This is my true calling, my purpose. And so then, I don't know if there is a tomorrow for me. While I understand my purpose, I don't know there is a tomorrow. If we all fully understand the impermanence of this life, he said, I have a true calling to teach meditation to whoever that I come across, and there is no guaranteed tomorrow. I make sure that my today is full. I make sure that whoever that I come across, I give this meditation. And I make sure my day is full enough that at any time, whether in future, 5 years later, 10 years later, at any time when I look back, that I don't regret that I should have done that. I'm using every opportunity. This inspired me when I saw him it happens when we are closely associated with people in any industry who wanted to excel, who wanted to contribute. It sure does rub that inspiration to us. So it happened to us. And so the Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation started that way. While my service to meditation and spirituality was always there, but these close interactions, associations seeded strong intentions to see how we can be of value to somebody, how we can be of help to somebody. I was already experiencing that deep contentment when we notice people come transformed at Pyramid Valley International, where I was associated. Bonnie and I, if you remember this, when our kids were small, we got into meditation deeply, recognizing these benefits, and then they were very, very young. 1-year-old and 5-year-old. And for years, all our weekends were just spent at Pyramid Valley International, all our weekends. She was greatly supporting, the kids were supporting, I could do the work at Pyramid Valley, to establish that meditation center, which today is serving beautifully in giving meditation free, because that's a belief that Patriji had, that this knowledge is invaluable. We heard from Karthikeyan sir that many masters always understood. You can't put a value to meditation because it's not another skill. It's not just another skill. We're not talking mindfulness. When we meditate, when we drop ourselves from this material world, we become the whole, that energy, the consciousness. We will understand this as we go along. The transformation is not an incremental thing. We change our mindset. We tune into the infinite possibility field. So we truly live life as an unlimited being with a total consideration to everybody. It's bound to happen for everyone. That change is going to take place for everyone. It's bound to happen. So as that intention was growing more and more, utilize my unique talent. And so was the case with Lawrence Guhad-Choli and with Vani and with several others who wanted to come to with an associate. And our unique talents seem to be taking this into people who wanted a rational understanding of this process of meditation, how it would lead to transformation, how it would lead to helping us live a better life. And that always appealed to me in doing a research into this scientific evidences, because of course knowledge empowers. If we know why we are doing what we are doing, and then we absolutely do more of it. And if you know why we're doing what we're doing, if we're convinced about it, then we're going to do more about it. We're going to do more of it. So Buddha Seva Quantum Foundation came into existence in 2020. We all would have our calling sometime. While I wanted to do something like this full-time for a while, but in 2020, 99, I resigned my job from IBM Corporation after seeing a beautiful acquisition grow wonderfully within that organization, acquisition of a software company, grew beautifully and contributed beautifully to this IBM at some point. And we all experience those moments where suddenly what we do and what we enjoy no longer is enjoyable. That's a time for change where your purpose, your calling is there to do something else. So those are the moments where I recognized and then came out with an open mind, but wanted to contribute to the leadership, to the corporate world, into aspiring leadership of graduating students, to all of them, the scientific meditation. That's about the time Lawrence was also a general manager at IBM, has also been deeply thinking about what next for her. And so we came together and then we wanted to form, but before we could form, if our intentions are right, we started simple online classes in 2020 March when the COVID came. Just happened as a thought. And then noticed by Karthikeyan sir, again, the synchronicity happens. One must read this book by Dr. Deepak Chopra, Synchro Destiny, an amazing book. Meditation is going to bring a lot of synchronicities into our life and bring awareness to identify the synchronicities. Karthikeyan sir came in, noticed these simple online meditations at the beginning of COVID days that are happening on behalf of Pyramid Valley, that I started pretty quickly, turned into something bigger and bigger when he wrote to our other mentors, SVB Balasubramanian sir, and then Dr. Ramani. When I wrote to them a mail saying, I find this meditation to be simple and then useful, can help pretty easily people during this time of crisis where everyone is stuck at home. So then with SVB sir's deep connections, many came in and joined. And so then we started doing more of these sessions. Now it started as online sessions before we informed the formal entity. Again, synchronicity happened. One master called Shakahara madam, who put this up in Cognizant, and then Cognizant readily took this, and we did a 40-day session for them, like what we're going through in June 2020. For about 1,000 people went through, and then came through that many volunteers, including Rakesh and Ratanavel and Lakshmi madam, Arvind, and then of course by then, before even when we started, we were running a meditation center, Soul Trust, where we are associated with some wonderful masters, Naga Pradeep, Jagan, and Koti I knew before from PSS moment. As a young kid, he learned meditation. The only thing he wanted was to serve. Like many, he could also have gone up and taken up a job, but his heart is somewhere to see that how he adds value. So he stuck to us, he came and joined. So with these initial volunteers, and then many masters from PSSM, we started off our journey in 2020, established a foundation. The only intention is to give this to as many. And so then we took opportunities as we came along, and more joined. We're happy to say that today we organize easily hundreds of programs in a year. It's possible only because meditation transforms individual to serve, builds such a great attitude of service that want to give And so it became possible because of many of you are there, already been walking this path for years in some cases, in months in other cases, supporting us financially with your technical knowledge, and then of course your time as volunteering in many ways. So deeply thank you for being part of it. And it's bound to happen for everybody who's practicing meditation. Our mantra, and you know it, now by now maybe understanding, is to develop that self-love and then understanding and transformation to gain what is truly ours so that we can be happy. And it's a science of energy. And so if we are happy, then we spread that happiness naturally. It goes. There's nothing to contain it. It goes. The fragrance of a flower cannot be stopped. If there is nature, when somebody goes there, it is taken. It cannot be stopped from enjoying. The energy which is wave spreads. So if I am carrying a good, loving friendship, friendly feelings, an abundant feeling, a feeling of connection, feeling of compassion, so it naturally spreads to others. And so we're very, very thankful to all volunteers, directly, indirectly, or who have been helping Buddha Seva Foundation in taking this mission forward. So online programs as we are doing, which will go on forever. Patriji's philosophy that for one to transform, money or anything should never be a barrier. It's a fundamental nature to be a Buddha. It is our inner nature to be a Buddha. It is just that we are all covered. Gautam Buddha, and I was asked, what have you gained through meditation? He said, I lost everything that is not me. My frustration, my anger, my jealousy, my greed, my guilt, my feeling of separation, feeling of lack. I lost everything that is not me, and so then we become the true Buddha. It is for everybody. So Patriji always believed that there cannot be a barrier, and giving this simple knowledge, barrier of anything, and so money being the one. So that stuck to us very deeply as a core value. And so these programs will continue to be free of cost, in whichever way that is, if that is a limitation, that is causes any barrier for someone to take it. So we do these public programs, and we are doing corporate programs into organizations, into communities. When they invite, then we organize these programs. If they pay us, we take. If they give us donations, we take. But we organize the programs, and we're willing to do this for any corporate. We continue to do these public programs of many kind. To youngsters, we have programs in the evening. We have programs for like this in the mornings and daytime, sometimes in the evenings. We have daily meditations. Meditation and wisdom are the two wings. So while we continue these meditation programs and wisdom, then we are encouraging books and then wisdom around books from world masters through various programs of Wisdom of World Series book clubs. Love that. Meditation becomes deeper when you practice for longer time. So there are several meditation programs that are long duration meditation, called intense meditation, that happen time to time. Meditation brings coherency, awareness, and builds great mindset, focus, openness. And manifestation brings a lot of visualization, understanding of the soul science to create more. Living life to the full means to become a co-creator, to create an experience, something that's more consciously created, something that's more righteous. Righteous means that is something that does not step into the world of someone else, does not interfere into, minimize consequence to others. So we live life to the full with becoming a co-creator by dreaming, visualizing. So the whole manifestation science, we empower people to live their dreams. We organize programs around that. And then we're doing corporate programs, public programs, then we are providing literature, scientific, evidence-based, neutral language literature. That's something that can be taken and presented in corporate. So Buddha CEO magazine, a quarterly magazine, is one of it. You can ask for it on the website. We ship a copy to you. We distribute this literature. We are producing experience of meditators, transformation experiences, Patriji's literature. And then we are now building communities. We're traveling, doing physical events. We started recently doing programs in other languages. We work closely, hand in hand, with several pyramid spiritual societies, movements, organizations like Pyramid Valley, PMC channels. We work closely with them, independent yet work very closely, by the same objective and mission. That meditation must reach every individual through them, to their family, to their community, the organization. Mission is same. We take the scientific approach to meditation. We focus more on science of living. There is science of living, there is science of art and science of living, art and science of dying and death. When we understand both, then we are liberated. We can live life to the fullest. Both must be understood. Let's go into meditation, dear friends, once again. And on Saturdays in this program, we're always bringing senior leadership who have been very successful applying the meditation principles, practice of meditation, very successful, and I was starting to have that greater contentment and success through meditation practices, and they're introduced in their organizations are beginning to do. So we are inviting them as guest leaders on Saturdays to listen to their stories of transformation. So we'll do that. We have today my good friend, family. I consider my brother, Sai Kripasagar, otherwise been a very successful executive, doing an enormous service at Pyramid Valley International. Walked a journey a long way with Patriji. He's there today. We'll listen to him. It's a delight to listen to him every time he comes. So before that, let's go into meditation, dear friends. We're practicing breath mindfulness meditation. Our goal is to empty the mind and stay in these states of emptiness for as long as we can. We do this by observing our normal natural breath with our eyes closed. As you see in the picture, sit down in a comfortable posture with your legs crossed, fingers clasped into each other, hands rested comfortably in your lap. And with your eyes closed, observe your breath anywhere on the nose as a reference point, preferably in the middle of the eyebrows. And observe the breath slowly. The mind becomes empty. And be in that emptiness. Emptiness is blackness, darkness, maybe field of light. Whatever that you may experience where there's nothing around you, as emptiness, be with it. When you observe the breath, slowly thoughts come down. You go into this empty states, experience it. You may experience sensation, movement in your body as energy, because emptiness is energy. Be with it. Witness it. In case you have thought, bring your attention back to the breath and observe the breath again. Today, we will start with this breath mindfulness meditation directly. Relax yourself, dear friends. Sit comfortably. Relax your body with your eyes closed. specs removed. Dear friends, with the specs removed, eyes closed, fingers into fingers, hands comfortably rested in your lap. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. Observe your normal, natural in-breath and the out-breath. When you observe your breath, the mind becomes empty. As the mind is becoming empty, our body begins to function at its natural best. Become aware of the emptiness and blackness. Where there's no body, where there's no thing. Allow yourself to merge into your breath and allow yourself to slowly notice that emptiness, that void. The field of energy, the field of intelligence. The more you are with it, the longer you linger in this field of emptiness, that intelligence, the more insightful you become. And the more aware you are. This is the limitless field of energy, of frequency. The more you stay aware of it, the more you tune in to the energies of love, compassion, empathy, of empowerment. Everything that you ever experience or will experience or wish to experience is here in this field as a possibility. Stay aware of this emptiness, that void, that field of life. Away from your body, away from your life. Merge into the emptiness of yourself. That greater inner intelligence. The longer you experience the emptiness and nothingness, the more you become that wholeness, the more you become everything. Recollect your experiences from the session. And whenever you're ready, you can keep your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds. And then you may open your eyes. Okay, dear friends. Hope you enjoy the session. Just that gratitude process can transform us, just take us into the other side. I love this process, and we are completely empty. No judgments of whatsoever there. It becomes easy. It becomes absolutely possible to express it. Yes. Sai is there, or I saw him. Yes, Sonalji. Are we talking about the book club announcement? Is Rathavel doing something?
Yes, he's gonna, I think we're gonna talk about the Saturday masterclass. Rakesh sir is going to.
Get the book club books announced because we're starting next Wednesday. People need
Yes, in the groups it is announced.
Announced, okay.
Yes. May I introduce? Huh?
Yes, yes, please.
Sure. So I have a pleasure to introduce Dr. Sai Kripa Sagarji. He's an accomplished technology business leader and a longtime meditator. He held the position of Vice President, Digital Engineering at the global IT service company, Cognizant. Till recently, Dr. Kripa Sagar was instrumental in establishing several new technology practices there. In his career of 30 years in the IT services industry, Sir has held several roles from developer to software architect to business leader and has worked in India, North America, UK, and Europe. Dr. Sai Kripa Sagarji holds degrees in computer science and a PhD in international business. Having gone through an extraordinary transformation in his personal and professional life due to daily practice of meditation, Sir has undertaken the task of spreading the magic of meditation as a primary side hustle. Hope we all get to do that hustle. Sir has been practicing meditation for 20 plus years now and is a managing trustee of Pyramid Valley International and actively supports several meditation projects of PSSM. Currently, he's working as a role of CEO for a meditation platform venture called Quantum Coherence Technologies. Wonderful to have you, sir. Thank you for your time, and we warmly welcome you. We're eagerly waiting to hear from you. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Good morning, masters. Good morning, everyone. Good evening to folks joining in from the West. So it's my pleasure to be talking about my experiences in the corporate world and how I got into meditation on this platform, on this 40-day platform. I think I've done that the last few times, definitely, if not, earlier as well.
Sai, I would like to not only talk about experience, but also know more about coherence. Sai has started a project called Coherence at Pyramid Valley and done tremendous research. And so we'd like to hear your thoughts also on it as we go along.
Sure. Okay. All right. So, let me start off with how I got into this whole meditation practice. I got into meditation thanks to, I got into breath mindfulness meditation and PSSM and Pyramid Valley, primarily through my friend Chandra. So he and I met through a common friend while both of us were working in the US around 2000. And I still believe my whole purpose of spending the 5-year stint in the US was to meet him and get introduced to this meditation, this wonderful science and wisdom, and also through him meeting great masters like Patriji and getting involved in a lot of these projects. And since then, I would say life has been different. Life has been miraculous, magical. I'll talk about a couple of instances. Though prior to that, I do come from a very average middle-class family. My dad was a public sector employee and then more aligned with the spiritual things of Satya Sai organization. He also used to do a lot of service. And we all grew up attending Sai Baba bhajans and going to Bal Vikas classes at that time. At least he chose me to, I was the only kid among my two brothers and sister to be attending those Bal Vikas classes. I don't know why. But that's how the spiritual mindset started. And as I got into this meditation, breath mindfulness meditation, Ana-Pana-Sati meditation, obviously the first few years was the challenge, getting into that stillness, getting into that moments of stillness or moments of emptiness. And I used to be bothered by a lot of thoughts. That is because my mind is generally chatty. And I think like some of us or a lot of us who think a lot, it takes a while for us to get into that stillness state, right? Because of all the accumulated thoughts we've been having. And it continued. I think I started Ana-Pana-Sati meditation around 2003. And that is around the time when I came back and joined a company called Cognizant in India. And the first big difference I saw, the impact of meditation, was absolute silencing of the mind chatter. It's not just during meditation. It's also during corporate meetings. So like any young engineer starting off probably around 34 years ago, I was a young software professional. And then I moved into a company called Microsoft while I was in the US. I used to be dreading the daily meetings, the daily stand-up calls or weekly meetings. I always used to have this mind chatter, oh, what should I speak? How will I speak? When I speak, am I speaking the right way? How will other people judge me depending on what I do? In fact, after joining Cognizant, although they've hired me, so I should do my best. So every action, every behavior, every word was always coming through that lens of what do you say? It was coming through that lens of what will other people think. What meditation did first to me was silence that mind chatter. And one day I discovered how silent the mind went. I could clearly observe as I was walking across the hallway to get to a different meeting. I was able to clearly observe the things on the wall, people around me. Right prior to that, it was lost in a mind chatter on what should I talk, how will the meeting get over, and all that. So that was the beginning, I believe. After that, meetings were absolutely breeze. I used to go in and do whatever needed to happen. Prior to that, anyone asked a question in a meeting, I'll always be thinking about something else. So the answer wasn't always the accurate one, the precise one. Then people will ask, excuse me, and then we have to explain a little bit more. Whereas post meditation, as the mind calmed, I was a lot more spontaneous. So anyone asked a question, I used to be giving an answer which was absolutely right at a particular point of time. So that also gave me confidence. So I don't need to prepare a lot to go and answer the questions right. So definitely communication improved. And then another big area of success was I got this courage to convey my ideas. Prior to that, I used to be thinking, okay, I used to get ideas, but I always used to think, oh, what will the team think? Because everybody in the meeting were very senior people. Of course, my manager was there, and everyone was a lot more experienced. Earlier, I used to think, my mind used to say, oh, what is that? It's not a big idea, right? And the moment I think about the idea, it always keeps telling me what are the cons of it, why will it not work? And then again, Sai, why do you want to tell? People will kind of shoot you down. But then once the meditation started silencing the mind, I was able to spontaneously, come up with answers and ideas. And more importantly, I was able to convey whatever came into my mind. And that I later recognized that those ideas were really valuable, very, very implementable. And then invariably someone or the manager used to say, okay, that's a good idea, let's implement it, right? And then I used to get involved in some of those implementations, some of those new projects. And around the time, Cognizant was growing. And a lot of this laid the foundation for that growth in different segments. So I used to be called into a lot of meetings. I used to be going to a lot of client presentations. So that was one of the big things: courage to express yourself and clear communications, which are, I think, the foundation for all of us growing in our career. Then obviously similar things happened on the personal life as well: clearer communication, more friends as you kind of get in. Prior to that, I used to be dreading social gatherings. What will I talk? I mean, unless and until someone has a topic, I'd probably not be going and willing to approach people. But then again, that allowed me confidence, right? When I go approach people, some topic, any topic could come up, and then we used to be engaging in a conversation. Prior to that, building conversation was a problem. But then, because I was free of all those judgments about what other people think, and it was happening pretty well. So that was one of the big benefits, in fact, I had from meditation. And then the next big thing as a continuation of that was meetings was a breeze. Client meetings. I used to be in a position leading a practice. Initially, it was the Microsoft technology. Then I led the Java Center, Technology Center, and then I established the cloud practice at Cognizant. So as I was doing that, invariably for all of these, as you go into client places to get business, you need to be making that first pitch, first presentations. And I used to be traveling a lot. Again, all those travels allowed me to spend time in a lot of books. Patriji used to be recommending a lot of books. And I mean, spending time in the airport, spending time on flights, that allowed me to read a lot of books, besides, of course, the time for my daily meditations. So I used to travel a lot and then visiting a lot of client places. And in one such customer meeting, like a lot of us from the corporates know how when we go prepared to a client meeting, especially a young leader, like one of us, there is an account manager, there's a client partner, there are all these other directors who want to watch every word you speak, every word you're going to put up in the client presentation. So all the rehearsals happen, but I happened to walk into this meeting and explain this is the objective of this meeting. And the customer was one of the big insurance customers in the US. So he said he totally told me a different topic. This was what he wanted to talk. And unfortunately, I didn't have that covered in my presentation or deck. That was not planned at all. And that was a topic I knew, but not to the level of expertise that I could answer this question or engage him for an hour. Right? Prior to the meditation, probably I would have said, oh my God, I can't answer that. I don't have it, kind of a thing. But in this instance, I happened to close the presentation, close the deck, close the PowerPoint deck, walk up to a whiteboard and talk about the topic. Right? And then I was drawing things on the whiteboard, talk about the topic. It was more related to security, cloud security. And this is a topic that not many people know about it. It's not widely available in this thing, but I knew the basics of it, the foundations of it, but I was able to answer. So at the end of 1 hour, I don't even know how that 1 hour went. I mean, obviously the meetings are very finite there. So at the end of 1 hour, the client was absolutely impressed. He was telling the account manager, this is the kind of conversation I was waiting for the last 2 months. And I didn't have a person to talk. This is the first day I'm speaking to an expert. I was able to get things out here. Right? And then subsequently, we won business from that particular customer in this particular area. So again, later I come to know, as I started going through these books, I come to know that's kind of the flow state, right? Where your mind completely switches off and you're connected to something deeper. And generally, I love giving presentations, so that also added to it. I love knowledge, I love wisdom, that also added to it. So that was the state. Again, that was just the beginning. And after that, that again improved my confidence. to walk into any meeting, walk into any presentations, walk into any conversation with an absolutely free mind. I know I will get the guidance when it is needed. So that was another big instance. Again, relating to the idea of coherence. Coherence has two meanings. One is one meaning that you see in the dictionary is about making sense of. Okay, his conversation was coherent. His presentation was coherent, right? The course was coherent. It makes sense. It makes total sense. It gives meaning. There is meaning in that. You get a sense. Did you live a coherent life? Yeah. So I led a coherent life because I made something out of it. I could create an impact. That is one meaning. The second meaning, more from neuroscience and heart math coherence, is about alignment. Usually they talk about multiple waves, right? Whether you are in alignment. So in heart math coherence, they talk about how your heart and brain is in coherence, right? Your feelings, and they use different devices to measure the waves, and you can see the pattern. So coherence is in alignment. Your HRV is a measure of coherence. So the way I usually consider that coherence is coherence between your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Or you can talk about body, mind, and your soul, or your self, or your quantum world, right? Being in coherence with a deep intelligence. And meditation allows, generally, we are supposed to be in that coherent state. We are in that coherent state, aligned state, connected to our deep intelligence when we are kids. As over time, as we progress, as our mind starts building up, it kind of puts up those barriers between the deep intelligence and how we act and behave. And what I personally felt and experienced all through, and then I later read books on the science and how it works, is that definitely when your mind becomes silent, when you're not bothered by the by the narration of your mind, or the narrating mind, then you get connected to the deep intelligence, as you saw, better meetings, better communications, better features, things happen in a flow. The other thing about being connected, it not just connects to your intelligence, it also connects to the universal intelligence or quantum field, or you can call it universal soul. And again, there are a lot of instances. Again, Chandra mentioned the word synchronicity. And then like Steve Jobs talks about how you connect the dots back, and then you'll feel why you are here. And it all makes sense. It's all coherent. Why you're doing what you're doing. So similarly, in quite a few instances where synchronicities have helped, you'd feel that the world or that universe conspires to create or give you what you want. Just quick one mention, though there are quite a few of those instances. Quick one mention is several years ago, around 2008, when I had my financial planning done by the financial advisor. I mean, all of us know this banking and investment folks have. I'm sure some of you are there. So he was coming and asking me, what are your dreams? What do you want to do? What are your goals? More from a financial perspective, he takes care of the family requirements. Okay, so you have 2 kids, right? So like that. At that time, he's saying, okay, what is your one big goal side? And for some reason, I came and obviously we all have this urge or likeness to travel around, explore new things. So I told him I want to retire at 50 years. I want to retire by 50. And then he said that he went back, did his math and calculation, and then came and said, Sai, unfortunately, you can't retire at 50 given the current income and then rate of growth and all the rate of expenses and all this stuff. You probably can do it at 55. I said, well, okay, so be it. And then I didn't bother too much about it. Then fast forward several years, I quit Cognizant to take a break. I wanted to take a 2-year break to work on meditation projects, work for Pyramid Valley as a managing trustee, and also spend time on something else that I had several ideas on. So when I quit in March 2020, thankfully before the lockdown happened, to kind of get over there, then I recognized I was 50. And I had the right financial backing for me and my family to go without a monthly salary for 2 years. In fact, that kind of continued till 3.5 years as well. So how did this happen? And that's exactly what I had desired several years ago. But then I said, so be it, and accepted it, and I left on. It was so magical to think about. It was a wow moment to think about. And then there were several things that conspired to make that happen. If I had continued in my regular pay in India at my cognizant work, it probably wouldn't have happened. I don't know. It could have happened, couldn't have happened. But thankfully, there were several promotions again in that whole span from 2003 to when I left. I had probably close to a dozen promotions. And then I quit Cognizant as a vice president in 2020. But more importantly, we also had a 2-year stint in London. From Cognizant, there was a time that we wanted to take a break and explore new opportunities. And London was Europe. That's when my boss commented, you established the cloud practice. Why don't you establish the cloud business, the business side of things also in Europe? And I went there 2 years of, along with my family, we spent 2 years. Came back in 2018. So 2016 to 2018, we were there. And what happened was, coincidentally, synchronistically, around that time, Cognizant had a program for senior management. Because we are moving the financial headquarters from the US to UK. So it had an expat model for senior executives, and that happened to apply for vice presidents. And I happened to be a vice president at that time. I moved to London. And the entire package was totally different. So your tickets were funded, your accommodation was funded, your kids' school education was funded, and obviously the pay that you get is a lot more. And that stint, which if I hadn't known this program, I would have gone in as another Cognizant UK employee at a certain level of benefits and pay. Whereas this particular program bumped it up so that it almost kind of increased my savings potential by 3 times, which was absolutely magical. In fact, when Patri sir, I told to Patri sir as well, and it all happened. I mean, none of us knew about this program. None of us, even my boss did not know this program. It was one HR person in the UK office said, "Hey, Sai, you are a vice president. We have this program. I'm going to put you in this program." And then boom, it all happened. So I've always been grateful for that's another thing besides meditation. One other thing I keep talking about is gratitude. Gratitude for all the things that we have. I know Chandra and even I kind of tell that in my meditations. Absolutely grateful for whatever is happening. Grateful for my career so far, my family so far. Grateful for the people I meet. Obviously, Chandra is one of the persons, and then several others. And I've always been fortunate to be working with the best people. At work, at home, while I was constructing my house, getting the right people, right vendors, while I was doing my role at Pyramid Valley, being grateful for the right people, the right amount of abundance in terms of financial support, which is what allowing us to be free and making things happen, right? So my dear friends, and then as along this journey, again, synchronicities continue to happen. And mind starts getting connected. And that is what is the whole coherence, right? I mean, we talk about physiological coherence is more about your body in that healing state, your body tuned to your physical innate intelligence. That's what you hear a lot of self-healing stories, right? And then psychological coherence is about connecting to your deeper intelligence, doing what you intend to do, doing what you want to do, right? So that is what it is. Otherwise, there is conflict, right? I mean, I want to do something, but I'm forced to do something, and there's always this conflict in the mind, which is where incoherence, and then that leads to all kind of illness. And then there is this, what do you call this, behavioral coherence or life coherence, I would say. It's about doing what you are intent to do, right? What your soul wants to do. I'm sure Chandra will cover. There's a week on purpose and meaning. And that happens. For me, I didn't do a major exercise. I read a lot of books on purpose and meaning. I didn't do a physical exercise to find out this is my purpose. But again, as they say, there are 2 schools of thought or 2 approaches. One is you discover your passion, discover your purpose and pursue it. The other thing is you're open it up. So you trust the deeper intelligence to tell you what to do. And that is the phase I am in. So the way when I moved out of Cognizant, I had a lot of ideas. I just dived deep into 2-3 years of service at Pyramid Valley, and then things started conspiring, things started helping. There were some ideas I explored, it didn't work out. There were things that told me maybe this is not the right path and go there, right? And then finally, I am in this mode where, and then I was always confused in terms of what to do, because my passion was teaching this wonderful wisdom to millions of people, right? Which is what I've learned and experienced. But then my skills and experience tell me, hey, you are a technology business executive, right? Maybe you should go there. When I open LinkedIn, I see a lot of my colleagues as CXOs, COOs, CTOs, and everyone. Then it makes you think, hi, what are you doing here at Pyramid Valley teaching meditation classes? So I was in that dichotomy. Should I do this? Should I do this? But thankfully, things came to it. And again, thanks to Chandra and the team, right? So he got us. I mean, now I'm doing something. I'm involved in a technology startup, technology venture, but the domain I'm focusing on is meditation, is wisdom. So it was like the best of both the worlds, which is what I'm experiencing. And again, several books, and I've been studying a lot of books. And then that's another last point I want to mention is about when you are in coherence with your intelligence, with yourself, you get answers automatically to some form. It could be in meditation, like some of you, for some of you, it could be through a person, right? It could be through some life experiences, or it could be through books, right? To me, it has always been through books. And then it was so magical. A question that you have in the morning gets answered by the evening because either of some email pointing to a book or some wisdom in a book or someone telling you. And then it's clarified. Even Patriji, anytime I go to him with a question, invariably, and he always gives me books to read. And then there are quite a few times where he says, Sai, he gives me a book, and Sai, you read page 30. He marks that. And then I open it up and read it, and wow, I get an answer to what I was thinking, and also kind of explaining or adding some point that Patriji wanted to convey. So books has been fantastic guidance. And the reason I took that books was having read so many books, having gone into this deep practice of meditation, again, consistent meditation practice. For me, that's been the biggest benefit every day. And thankfully, again, my travel in the cab to the airport, travel in the flights, I always used to spend a minimum of half an hour every day in my meditation practice. And books. Now I can say with the complete, 200% or 300% conviction, which some of you have been going through, is meditation transforms. Meditation transforms physiology. You must have seen a lot of articles, books about how it transforms the brain, how it transforms the body, and then mind. There are a lot of books that talk about how your mindset changes, right? Mindset changes from a fixed, limited, fearful, ego-based mindset to a mindset where you trust on universal consciousness, right? You trust on your soul consciousness. I call it a soulfulness, right? From using breathfulness or your breath, you start becoming more mindful. And then once you start conspiring, start collaborating, stay in coherence with the soul consciousness, things start happening magically. And there is strong evidence, there is strong science behind why meditation. In fact, recently I discovered, I was reading quite a few of leadership mindset books. And it was so coincidental to find all the leadership mindset books talk about one of the ways to upgrade your mindset or change your mindset is meditation. Though they devote only 2 pages of the book to meditation, but I was so surprised to find that they do recommend meditation as a way, as a tool for you to change your mindset. Change your mindset, obviously behavior changes, and it's all about, in fact, as we are doing this conference thing for excellence. So I've been thinking, how do we convey excellence, right? And then I was thinking between meditation and flow. Flow is one of my favorite subjects, and peak performances. So to me, excellence is about the outstanding performance at zero stress or low stress. And that happens when we are connected, when you are incoherent with your intelligence, and of course, be open, trusting, and believing in whatever. So that, my dear friends, though I usually recollect a lot of experiences. I hope that is good enough for this. Again, my message is meditation is a not too well known but well proven and a scientifically based tool for us to upgrade our mindsets, change our behavior, lead a fulfilled life, more than a happy life, lead a life of fulfillment and meaning. So thanks, Chandra and the Buddha CEO team for giving me this opportunity, and thanks, Sonal ma'am, for introducing me. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sai. If we can gain that coherency, then what we are hearing from Sai is that everything is added to our life. Animals, because they're always coherent, they know when their owners are coming. Even if the owners come at different times to their home, they know it beforehand. There is a lot of research. When you're coherent, you're connected to this entire field. Coherency is to be in that empty mind states, to be keeping that analytical mind away, the thing that constantly worries, rationalizes based on the past. And how do you get there? To put the past aside. Past is gone, so can we keep the past aside? How can we let go of the past? If the past is gone, then a lot of coherency automatically comes, because the analytical mind doesn't have anything to analyze on, to worry about, to feel stressful about. So the nature, connected to the nature, is there. So those animals are they connected. And meditation brings us to be into our natural state, to not unnecessarily think about, unnecessarily feel about, worry about things, but become active when we have to do some work. Otherwise, stay back into this quieter, coherent modes. When you go into the empty states, then automatically in the coherency. When a coherency, then something else is operating through us, is why what he's saying, he thought about retiring at 50 to do something else, it happened. And in order to do that, some financial thing has to come, it happened. There are many synchronicities that come together, but it happened. That he did not even know that they're happening. They're paving the way for him. They all happen. There is no trusting here. I mean, there's no big words of, okay, I'm surrendering, I'm trusting, there's some intelligence. All that is not there. Sai is simply saying that, no, I've been practicing meditation that kept me to be coming in our life in many ways. So thank you, Sai, for beautifully narrating. And then now he's moved on to, as he had this great inspiration to do service, he did the service, and then he's continued, he attracted something even bigger. Now his passion, his purpose is aligned to his work. He's running this meditation software company. Great stuff. Building a free app for Buddha CEO. Thank you, Sai, and it's going to be there very soon. And his purpose is definitely tied to the experience that he's gotten, which is technology. And so it cannot be just let go just because it came out of the technical field. So it's all coming back again to utilize it in the best possible way, creating super minds, creating coherent minds and super minds. And so calling his company Quantum Coherence Technology. Thank you. Any questions to Sai, dear friends? And before that, it's time. We are past 7:30. So those of you who would like to, you have an announcement before? Yes, please download masterclass.
Yeah, I think Rakesh sir is going to do that, but we wanted to thank you. It was so heartwarming to hear you. And do we have a minute or two for a question? A couple of people had a question for.
I'd like to formally conclude and take the questions. So
Sure.
please announce Rakesh about masterclass.
Thank you, Sai. Always wonderful to listen to you. Many of my life experiences, I can so relate to what you have talked about. Chronicities, the service and purpose in life. So today's topic, coincidentally or synchronistically, is about spiritual growth at work. And we're speaking about it today evening. Again, I think for me, everything is about spirituality. There's no personal life, professional life, it's all us. So coherency will bring in align ourselves in everything that we do. So thank you for this wonderful sharing. I'm really fortunate, to be honest, to have been in part of this, even in the since the meditation journey between these two great masters, Chandra and Sai. Two different perspectives, but aligned yet coherent in our purpose. Completely different perspectives, but very coherent, and that's, I think, is the beauty of this whole journey. So thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh. Saturdays, we are doing these master classes. Those of you new join the program every Saturday, India evening time. We are doing every Saturday, there is a class where there's some expert or the other practice meditations coming and doing a session on various topics. Spiritual growth at workplace through meditation. Rakesh will cover today. So thank you, Rakesh. So thank you, dear friends. Please stay on to ask questions, share your comment about Sai's
Yes, sir. If you want to mute, please, Nirmalsi.
Yeah. Sai, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
So your experience is really impressive, very impressive. So I hear you a lot when I joined Cognizant as well. I mean, my track is also similar to what you explained. I was with Microsoft and joined Cognizant 2016. So by the time I hear your name a lot, that you set up the Cloud Foundation practice in Cognizant, and I was fortunately be part of the Cloud COE from 2016 to 2020. So then I moved to US. So I'm currently in US in Dallas. So I would request you, the books that you have read, you mentioned, is there a way, would you mind to share those? I mean, to get some knowledge and some ideas.
Yeah, sure. I think Rakesh and Paul would be sharing. Most of the books are part of the book list that gets circulated, and all of us have similar book lists. So I think Buddha CEO is there. I mean, I'll be glad to share it, but if Buddha CEO, do you have a book list somewhere, then they're more the same books. So
share a few. Share a few that help you. Yeah.
Yes. So definitely, I started off with the big book, the most important book in my life, Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And then the other next big book thing was You Are the Placebo by Joe Dispenza. Again, Patriji used to recommend that. And then subsequently, the Joe Dispenza has several books. It talks about the science behind how meditation works, what happens in your brain, what happens in your body. So Joe Dispenza is again a big author, published several books on neuroscience. He's a neuroscientist. And then several books by Dawson Church, Mind to Matter. Again, very similar. How your thinking and intention, how do you create consciously? How do you create your reality consciously? So Mind to Matter, and he's got a subsequent book called Bliss Brain. which talks about what exactly happens in your brain networks every time you meditate. It researched several tons of meditations. And then there is Eckhart Tolle books, Deepak Chopra's books, Total Consciousness, Quantum Healing, Total Meditations. So they are again a fantastic set of books. And of course, the usual business ones, right? Like the monk who sold his Ferrari. And then, yes. And then Celestine. Yeah, Celestine Prophecy. So that kind of books, more from Don Miguel. The Four Agreements. So those are all. So these are some of the common books that come in. For me, it was important to understand how meditation works. Another big book called The Mind Illuminated. It focuses on the length and breadth of Ana-Pana-Sati meditation, how breath mindfulness causes all those changes. So it's a pretty fat book. Mind Illuminated is another one. And off late, there are quite a few books by Richard Barrett. It talks about meditation and growth in corporate and life. And then quantum leadership books, I think the recent ones. So these are all some of the books. You can get started with any of those. And I'm sure you can join some of the book clubs. What's the book club? I see that there is one of the book clubs on You Are the Placebo and one on Art and Science of Meditation. So that will also help.
So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Nice. Thanks for sharing your experience. And nice to see next. I guess you are still with Cognizant. Are you still with Cognizant?
No, I moved out actually last year.
Okay, so nice to be talking to a Cognizant alumni.
Me too. I think I'm very grateful to Chandra sir as well, because when I came back to India from US in 2020, so that's the time. So the meditation classes program was started with Cognizant. So I was part of that. And fortunately, I can relate to your experience with mine. Like, so I got visa and then subsequently green card in US. So, when you are explaining your experiences, like moving to UK and the opportunities that you got and abundance, right? So I can relate all that. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chandra.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Anjanaji, your observations.
Namaste, Chandra sir. Namaste, Saiji. It's been beautiful. What a wonderful, and I guess I do relate that just recently, things are going on in our company where lots of layoff is happening. And I relate that, thinking abundance. And I just said, I just surrender to the universe. And that's the power of meditation, that I just surrendered. And today we found out that today was the whatever layoffs had to be done is done. And I'm safe, and so are everyone in my team members too. So I have just gratitude. And I also said, I'm very grateful, whatever happens, because maybe I have a higher purpose. Maybe I have something better to do. Maybe I'm supposed to be in the meditation, becoming a coach. That's why I may get a layoff, or, so I just accepted and things worked out. So the power of meditation is so beautiful, so beautiful. Gives you abundance, gives you everything. No, so I'm just totally grateful. Thank you.
Wonderful.
That understanding is very important, Ranjanaji. We know of the other side too. Meditation is teaching us to accept. You said that, okay, if there is a layoff happens, there must be a good reason of becoming a coach. That's why it's important, which is true, or which is can lead to something greater, bigger possibilities. And right now, and as I see, I know of somebody. Never thought about it happened, but then amazingly, you look at the events and you feel like, okay, this is the best thing that happened for that person. The best thing. And a layoff can happen, and layoff won't happen. One person's gain is another person's loss. But we recognize that eventually they are always happening for our best to move us to the next.
Yes, and I mentioned the same thing to my friends also who got laid off. So I said, trust in, join this meditation. So you will see the power. Something bigger is happening. It's just
in our company, when the credit squeeze happened in 2008, we could not get funding. And so everybody had to let go. And then whoever was there, very, very, very few people, less than 5% of us stayed on with 70% salary cuts. And I thought this is done, right? This is not. But when I look back on those events, that's one of the best things that has happened for me and for people who were able to stay, or people who are gone because they all had greater opportunities, because our company was taking a long time to grow. So those who had expectations of growing immediately had better off of moving on, while those who stuck there, and in my case particularly, I can speak for, had the best time. I had gotten into deeper service. The best thing they could do to Pyramid Valley happened in 2008. This was 2008, not 7. Spent maximum time in doing service to Valley, and then it has the deepest fulfillment that we organized the first global conference of spiritual scientists event in that year. Bringing it up, then something more magical, it's attracted better investors just because of this association, all that thing that I talked about. If you're able to accept, I was not accepting initially, but then your mentors will help. Patriji helped, Vani helped. The message that I had before, that I will continue, not leave the company, but continue as a CEO. I was a CTO then. Those messages of meditations helped for me to stick on. Hung around there, perseverance came in. And so did many great things in the service and deeply fulfilled, and then attracted Dhyana Jagath as investor, another master, to come and then share the common things. So that enabled company's growth, acquisitions, many things. So always things are happening for best. This person who lost the job is exactly, I know, and they know it. That is happening there for the best. You have a bigger package, and you are doing, it gives you time to do many other things. If we believe in ourselves that jobs will come, we're just worried. Either because that unnecessary past is bearing on us, or just socially we feel that there's a low thing to happen. And because of this, we just have these unnecessary worries. But we have to come to an acceptance that whatever happens is happening for best. And if we are in that state, we're attracting great jobs again, and a great next thing again, for sure. Thank you for bringing it up. It's very important at this point. There's so much is happening with some of the large companies.
Yes. Thank you. Gratitude.
Okay. Anybody else wanting to say a few things about coherency of your life events too, how they're helping if you came into meditation? Nagapradeep.
Hi, sir. Yeah, I can say that things started happening only after coming into service. So the first time in 2017, I attended a one-day workshop. That's when I realized, okay, we can actually write down few things and we can attract those things into our reality. So I practiced for 40 days what I wrote, and I attracted the company that gives more flexible hours, good pay. And then 1.5 year after that, I'm having discussion with my HR, and he said, budgets are squeezed. We cannot give you any more hike because you're already on the higher bracket. Then I discussed with Chandra sir. He said, okay, fine, you look for other opportunity. And I went in and resigned. And then immediately my manager called and said, okay, let's talk. Let's see what we can do. Before me, 6 other colleagues resigned and he let them go. But then he asked me, what is the offer that you are getting in the other company? I randomly said some figure, which is more than what the other company offered. He said, okay, fine, let me see. And then in 2 days, I got a call from HR saying that, okay, your manager want to do a counter offer. Do you want to stay back? So I almost fell down from my chair. It was exactly what I said to my manager. I just went out, and I don't know if you have watched this movie called Pursuit of Happiness. So that Will Smith will, in the climax, he will go out and he will just see the open sky and stuff, right? So it was the same feeling that I had at that moment. Many things, and then after that, I got into my current company, SAP. So it was almost 80% hike than the previous one. I never had that much in all the 7 years prior. So so the kind of benefits, flexibilities, everything is wonderful. And yes, I again wrote few things, and so definitely I have 100% confidence that will happen. So now I want to spend most of the time in the work which I want to do, with the rest of the things all taken care. So yeah, definitely on the way. Want to thank Madam and Sir for all the guidance that they provide in each and every step. So all the career related stuff, I go to Sir, and all family related things, I take guidance from Madam. So so they'll always push you to come out of the comfort zone. It will be little uncomfortable at the beginning, but then the end result will be so beautiful. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pradeep. I think connecting to service is essentially bringing us back to the coherency. It's all about that. A lot of people ask, how can I be regular? How can I be consistent? Because how can I be coherent if we are empty-minded? So we need regular practice. So consistency is required. Regularity is required. How can you be that? Do service. Because then you have all the environment of doing regular. The people who are around you are challenging you and always are inspiring you. Either of those are happening. And so then we are naturally in the path, and so they're naturally aligned. So all things that we want to have happen. It need not be just promotion. It can be whatever that is. I mean, in case of Sai, it is now a meditation tech company. For him, doing that service at Pyramid Valley, turning around greatly. In case of Rakesh, going and teaching into this standing in front of many hundreds of students, doing teaching to them, this empowering wisdom. So thank you, Sai, once again. We'll conclude it here. Always great to have you to stimulate conversation around these important concepts. The skeptics will say, yeah, it happens in due course and nothing to do with meditation. Sure, we can be in that point of view, and so continue to create that point of view and then be like that. We are ready to be open, then you open and explore the science. And for some reason, these 2 books came onto my table. The Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, and Sai talked about the change of mind. This is one of the greatest books. I mean, this Dr. Joe Dispenza's clarity of how he connects things is just incredible. My son is writing a presentation on it, and I just start people on this thing to change a fundamental habit. But it's great. If you do this, then this is what happens. Synchrodestiny. Synchronicities which will lead you to a great destiny for yourself. They are the 2 books that are here for whatever reason. So that's probably what this session is about from Sai. So thank you, Sai.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Chandra, and thanks for the platform. Of course, Chandra, thanks for everything. I think since the time we met, you've been a key part of our family and whatever we do at work, and we've been doing a lot of things together. I'm sure a lot more greater things in store for all of us. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all.
Who do you want to be? Come on and tell me. It can be anything, other possibilities. Focus, boost, and release. Gratitude angle, your 5-step technique to follow your wildest dreams. What you believe for yourself, you become. Manifesting has now begun. So who do you want to be? Come on and tell me. Come on and tell me, tell me, tell me.